The Mastery of Self, known for his legendary short book, The Four Agreements, which I've reviewed and I will link that in the description. Don Miguel Ruiz seems to have gathered nothing but respect from the self-help community over the years. Almost 20 years later, he comes out with The Mastery of Self. How's it different? What can we learn from it? Let's talk about it. Just so you know, there are affiliate links in the description. If you buy anything through those links, like maybe this book, then I get commission, which helps me build this channel and keep making these videos. You can also find this book and many others on my Amazon storefront. But welcome back to my channel. My name is Sam and I want to make self-growth normal, because people shouldn't have to look this information up. It should just be mainstream knowledge. If you agree, then please make sure to smash that like button. I think I may be such an old man at this point that I overlooked late at night buying the book that this was actually written by not Miguel Ruiz, but his son, Miguel Ruiz Jr. I can't say that I'm an old man though, because people who are older than me are probably turning in their sleep. He went over some key terms like dream of the planet, domestication, ally, attachment, and more, at least in the beginning. And chapter 1 is called The Making of a Master. Here he talks about the dream of the planet and how it's created by everyone who lives. And he wants us to ask ourselves if there's a way we can engage in life without becoming too attached to our own personal preferences. The answer is yes. And that, my friends, is the subject of the book. Chapter 2, understanding our domestication and attachments. Domestication, the way he described it, it sounds like trying to live up to the unrealistic and idealistic standards that society subjects us to. The result of this is people trying to live lives that just aren't our own. And I'm sure how you could see this is dangerous. It makes for just a less authentic world. In the part about attachments, it reminds me of a TikTok I saw once about a guy throwing a remote at and presumably totally breaking what looked like maybe an $800 TV just because he was unhappy with how a football game ended. Chapter 3, unconditional love for yourself. When I listened to the audio version of this book, I found myself considering emotions in general a lot, particularly mine, and how certain things trigger them. And I thought about this in ways that I would say I don't usually. It was interesting too, the example he gave in this chapter of the friend of his who could write a bad experience from her childhood and then the same experience again from a totally different perspective.
It almost sounds as if it were coming from a different person.
I mean, it's a different perspective. Like, chapter 4, unconditional love for others. The part where he talked about subjugation was pretty badass. The same people who gained freedom from the oppressor will eventually replace the previous set of conditions with their own, and in turn try to subjugate the people around them in order to establish their vision of peace and harmony. This cycle of imposition and subjugation has been occurring in the dream of the planet for thousands of years. This is how wars begin, end, and start again, and this is true whether it's a brawl in the street or an international conflict. These both stem from one party's desire to subjugate the other based on the subjugator's belief that their way is the right way. For those wondering, to subjugate means to bring under control and governance as a subject. Chapter 5, spotting the triggers and maneuvering the traps. Emotions are wonderful tools and they can teach us how to navigate through life effectively. Anytime you feel a rush of negative emotions is the time to look within so you can stop the spiral before you lose control. He said that when someone can really push your buttons, they're actually giving you the very valuable gift of being able to understand what power it can have over you so you can master it. Quite the flip of perspective, don't you think? How many people do you think look at things like this? Chapter 6, breaking the cycle of the automatic. The first step in this is the simple act of pausing before letting a judgment negatively affect your words and actions toward others. You need to make sure to be gentle with yourself when you don't do this right. You really do. He said that regular practice of this is what will make you a master. It's like the most common sense thing in the book. Chapter 7, multiple masks. When we engage in the dream of the planet, we often project an image of how we want people to see us because it helps make it easier for others to relate to us. It's as if we borrow a mask that's a symbol for us to understand one another. Sometimes I need to be more of a friend, I need to be more of a problem solver, and other times I need to be more of a listener. These masks started their creation when I was born and when we were all born. And eventually we become lost in the fog when we get these masks confused and let them get a hold of who we really are. Does that make sense? Because it really makes sense when I read it out loud. Chapter 8 is goal setting. Setting goals out of self-love can be one of the hardest things because many of us are so used to setting goals out of negative self-talk that we never even considered another way to do it. This other way can radically change how we approach the dream of the planet. This allows you to enjoy the moment regardless of the outcome. Other people having a problem with your results are a problem of theirs, not yours. Chapter 9, comparison and competition. I'll be frank with you folks, and this may be the contrarian in me, but I like this book more than the Four Agreements. It has fundamental contents in it, but something about the writing comes off, of course, as a little bit more modernized, and the author makes sure to pay homage to and reference many of his father's teachings throughout the book as well. So there's a little bit of old and new here. Quotes: "If life is like a carnival, you've come to ride the rides. Every time you judge someone, you're punishing them for agreements they never made. After all, it doesn't matter if you're right." Direction 1. I recommend this book for someone who doesn't feel like they control their life and their actions as much as they want to. Direction 2. If you like this book, I recommend checking out The Four Agreements by his father, Don Miguel Ruiz, As a Man Thinketh by, what's this guy's name? Oh, no. James Allen. I knew it was James Allen. And The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. The Mastery of Self by Don Miguel Ruiz Jr. There's a link in the description if you want to check it out and read the reviews. That and all the other books that I mentioned in this video, if you want to check those out too. If there are any other books that you want me to check out and review, please let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know if you checked out this book and you liked it. But hey, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, because I don't get why people watch this far into my book reviews and they don't subscribe. But if you have subscribed and you want to turn it up just a notch and turn on that notification bell to get a notification whenever I drop new videos, that would mean the world to me. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. You can find me everywhere, and I will see you then.